My name is Rosie Jean. I'm 92 years old. What I'm about to tell you, they don't want you to know. And when I say they, I mean the people getting rich while you get sicker every single year. Now I've been sitting on my porch watching this world change, and most of what I've seen has been a crying shame. But nothing has broken my heart more than watching what people have done to their own sleep. You walk around half dead. You got bags under your eyes the size of my old coin purse. You're swallowing little pills just to get through the afternoon. You're pouring your fifth cup of coffee at 3 o'clock just to feel like a human being. And you think that's normal, honey. That is not normal. That is a catastrophe happening in slow motion. And nobody is telling you the truth about why. My name is Rosie Jean. I was born in 1933 in a little farmhouse outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I have outlived 3 doctors who told me to take it easy. I buried a husband who lived to 94. I have a sister who is 88 and still grows her own tomatoes. We didn't have sleep clinics. We didn't have white noise machines or weighted blankets or melatonin gummies shaped like little bears. We slept because we understood something that this modern world has completely thrown in the garbage. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly what that was. Because I am tired of watching people my grandchildren's age walking around looking like the Walking Dead when the answer is so simple it would make you cry. Now, before I get into it, I want you to think about the last time you woke up without an alarm clock. I want you to think about the last time you opened your eyes and truly felt like you had enough. Not dragging yourself to the coffee maker, not hitting snooze 4 times, not lying there dreading the day before it even starts. If you cannot remember that feeling, and I suspect most of you cannot, then everything I'm about to say is for you. Every single word. Here is what they sold you. They told you that 6 hours is fine. They told you that successful people sleep less. They put it on magazine covers and stuck it in your head that grinding and hustling and burning the midnight oil was something to be proud of. They made sleep seem lazy. They made rest seem like something you could earn later. Well, I am here to tell you, as a woman who has seen 92 years of sunrises, that is the most dangerous lie this generation has ever swallowed. Because you cannot earn back what you lose in the dark. The damage done by poor sleep does not wait around for you to catch up on the weekend. It stacks, it compounds, it collects interest like a loan shark, and eventually it comes to collect. Now, when I was a girl, and I mean a small girl, before the televisions came into the house, before the electric lights stayed on all night long, we followed the sun, not because we were told to, not because some doctor put it on a chart, because it was as natural as breathing. When the light went, we went. My grandmother, Lord rest her soul, she'd say the same thing every single evening as that Louisiana sky turned orange. She'd say, "Rosie, the sun is putting itself to bed, and you'd better do the same." And we did. We were in bed when it was dark, and we rose when the light came back. We slept 9, sometimes 10 hours. And nobody called it laziness. Nobody called it weakness. It was just the way life worked, because it was the way the body was built to work. The light is the key. That is the secret. And it sounds so simple that you're probably rolling your eyes right now. But I promise you, on the grave of every person I've ever loved, that your body runs on light the same way a rooster does. The same way a sunflower does, the same way every living thing on God's green earth does. You have a clock inside you. Doctors today call it the circadian rhythm, and they act like they discovered it just recently. Honey, my grandmother knew about it without ever learning a word of Latin. That internal clock runs on light signals. Natural morning light tells your body to wake up, get sharp, get moving, start making the hormones you need to feel alive. And darkness, real honest darkness, tells your body to start winding down, to start making melatonin, to start preparing for the most important work it does all night long. And what is that work? Let me tell you, because this is the part the pill companies are praying you skip over. When you fall into a deep and proper sleep, your brain does something so extraordinary that if I told you it happened in a doctor's office, you'd pay $1,000 for it. Your brain literally cleans itself. There is a system in your head. They call it the glymphatic system now, fancy word, but it is nothing more than your brain's own cleaning crew. And it only clocks in when you are in a deep, dark, uninterrupted sleep. It comes through and it flushes out the waste. It clears out the toxic proteins that build up all day long from just the effort of thinking and living. If those proteins are not flushed out night after night, they accumulate. And scientists today are finding right now that this buildup is connected to the foggy thinking and the memory loss and the kind of mental decline that is stealing people's later years from them. We didn't have a word for it on the farm. We just knew that a bad night's sleep made you stupid and a good night's sleep made you sharp. And that was enough. But here is where the tragedy begins. Here is where your great-grandparents had something you do not have, and it was stolen from you so gradually you never even noticed it was gone. Artificial light. That is the villain in this story. Not sugar, not stress, not bad genes. The light bulb did more damage to the human body than almost anything else invented in the last 200 years, and nobody ever talks about it that way because the people selling you the light bulbs are the same people selling you the sleep aid. You see, your body cannot tell the difference between the blue light pouring out of your television screen and the sun. It registers that glow and it says, "It is daytime. Do not sleep. Make the waking hormones. Keep the engine going." And so every single night, when you sit there scrolling through your phone or watching one more episode of whatever show they have you hooked on, you are lying to your own brain. You are telling it it's noon when it's midnight, and your body believes you. It shuts off the melatonin, it keeps you wired. And then, when you finally drag yourself to bed at 11 or midnight or later, you wonder why you can't fall asleep. You wonder why you lie there staring at the ceiling. You wonder why the sleep that finally comes feels thin and unsatisfying, like watered-down soup that leaves you hungry. On the farm, our evenings were lit by oil lamps and candles, warm, dim, amber light. And without us knowing a single thing about neuroscience, that warm light was telling our brains the truth. It was saying, the day is ending. Begin the shutdown. Prepare for rest. And we fell asleep fast and we slept deep because our bodies were not confused. They knew exactly what time it was because we had not lied to them. That amber glow is the key to the first part of the evening, and most of you have not experienced it since you were small children during a power outage. Now let me talk to you about the morning, because the morning is just as important, and most people are getting it so completely wrong that they are sabotaging their sleep before the day has even properly started. When I say we rose with the light, I mean we went outside. We did not roll out of bed and walk into a dim kitchen under fluorescent bulbs and sit there in artificial light drinking coffee in the dark. We walked out that door, and we let the morning sun hit our faces and our eyes within the first hour of waking up. Now, why does that matter? Because that morning light is the signal that sets your clock for the whole day. It tells your body exactly what time it is. It starts the countdown. From that moment of morning light exposure, your body begins calculating when to release melatonin that evening, when to drop your body temperature, when to start the sleep process. If you wake up and spend your entire morning indoors under artificial light, your clock never gets set properly. Your melatonin comes late, your body temperature doesn't drop at the right time, and you wonder why you're not tired at 10 o'clock at night even though you're exhausted. Your clock is simply wrong. You have given it no signal to go by. Every morning of my life, even now at 92, I go outside before I do a single other thing. I sit on my porch. I let that early sun come over me.